Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is time for Coffee Ann. It's Friday morning. It is October 13th. That's right, Friday the 13th here in October. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Joe Callahan. Across
His
the
name
table
is
from
Joe
me
Callahan.
is Dave Richards. Hi there, Dave.
Just thought I'd help,
Thanks. That's a real big help, Dave.
in case
Thanks.
you were wondering.
That's Dave Richards right over there. We
I
expect
am.
Melissa Murray to be with us soon.
Yes.
And Richard Lane will join us at 8:30 this morning.
That's right. He'll be
here
doing the
on
calisthenics part of our program.
He's the lucky one. All right, our first segment sponsor of the Coffee Ann program is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. What do you see in your inbox, Dave, from the Chamber?
Well, from the Chamber, Joe, we're always getting these nice little inbox messages here. This one is the list. They actually call it that. They call it the list. It's the list of things that are coming up in the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce calendar, Joe. And starts off here, our next event coming up next Thursday on the 19th from 8 to 9:30 in the morning at Bryant University in Smithfield. It's the Bold in Business Breakfast put on by the Women's Business Council. Bold in Business. Bourbon Bites and Cigars is coming up on the following Wednesday, the 25th of October, from 5 to 7 in the evening. This will be at the Kirkbrake Country Club. A spirited evening of tastings, curated craft spirits, and cigars. There you go. Sounds like a fun one. And then on November the 1st, which is also a Wednesday, that's the day that the voting ends in our Best of the Blackstone Valley. Let's see, 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning, Welcome Wednesday at the Woonsocket Education Center. That's on Main Street in Woonsocket. And it's a networking coffee hour from 8:30 to 9:30. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grow your network and make connections that matter. Registration's free, but it is required. And our next Eggs and Issues breakfast is on Thursday, November the 2nd from 8:30 to 9:30 at the Kirkbrake Country Club. Meet the candidates, the two gentlemen who are qualified to run for Congress to replace Mr. Cicilline.
All right.
They will both be there in all probability, Mr. Amo and Mr. Leonard.
All right.
There was a joke about Mr. Leonard.
Sheldon Letters?
No, there was a no, not this Mr. Leonard, by the way. I'm going back. I just had a flashback to the 70s. Mr. Leonard was one of those, Mr. Shields and Mr. Leonard. And, never mind.
No, I don't.
You
know.
don't remember that stuff.
No, I
you
don't
remember that stuff. Well, neither does Melissa.
I don't.
Too young and beautiful to remember back into the 70s.
Well, I was born in the 70s, but
Tough to remember back there.
I don't remember everything, no.
No. I was born in the 50s. I don't remember everything from the 50s either. I get it.
Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
All right, things going on around the world. Of course, we all know what's going on in the Mideast. Today could be a scary day or could not be a scary day. I hate promoting violence, but the police got to be ready for any attacks that might happen today. The Hamas has called this a day of whatever they're calling it, day of anger. I think that's what they're calling it. They want all Hamas militants to rise up around the world and do something.
Yeah,
So-
it has been scary. And, I think that what has happened, what's happening right now is I'm fearful that it will, embolden other terrorist groups around the world as well. So
It might.
it's pretty scary.
You see, the Israeli government has told everybody in the Gaza city to get out.
It's
All million people
yeah,
get
but
out.
Meanwhile, Hamas is going to say,
Stay.
Hamas is saying,
Stay.
and if you leave, we're going to shoot you as you leave.
right.
Wow,
So-
that's a tough choice.
Guess what?
Yeah, it's
right.
what's happening
So-
there, especially to children, is just unspeakable. It's really terrible.
That religious group from Rhode Island, the two pastors and the 7 people, part of the Victory Church, I think that's what it was in Providence. They
Yeah.
got out.
Yeah.
They were supposed to leave on Wednesday, and they
good,
did.
good.
In
good.
Medway.
But there's a
which-
person in Medway that's stuck there,
husband,
Yeah.
wife, and 1-year-old
child.
son. Yeah.
Oh boy.
visiting family
In
in the
Gaza.
Gaza.
and they're
before
stuck
this
there.
And
took place.
that's where we come up with this, where we say, well, they were supposed to come back today. That was already planned.
Right.
Flights aren't going out. They got
Right,
no electricity.
right.
You got no water. You got no this. You got no
Yep,
that.
everything's cut off.
Right, and now Israel's saying, by the way, we're coming through there, and if you're an innocent person, leave, because we're not coming to kill you. We're coming to kill the bad guys. All you bad guys, stay right where you are, so we can get you. But the bad guys are saying, oh no, if you leave, then all they're going to do is kill us. So we've got to make sure that they feel bad about killing you nice people. So you nice people, you stay right where you are, or we will kill you when you try to leave.
But many civilians are getting killed. I mean, I'm
is
saying
what
that we're not
happens in
going to
war.
right, but it's hard to call it a war when you're going into, and this is happening on both sides. When you're going into neighborhoods and going into homes and slaughtering people, that's not a war. That's a massacre. It's terrible.
Semantics, Melissa. War,
terrible.
War is bad.
Yes, agreed.
Can I quote you, Dave?
Gee
War
whiz.
is bad.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I remember hearing all the stories from my elders who came back from World War II and who worked in Korea, and buddies who came back from Vietnam, and hearing about all this stuff, and then people who are trying to play up the human carnage and the suffering and everything. Oh my God, you don't need to play this up. You don't need to try to make people feel like this is an awful thing. It's already an awful thing. It is, by any right-thinking person's yardstick of human behavior, it is to be avoided at any cost. But some people just don't want to,
Yep.
and they think that their way is the only way, and anybody who doesn't feel like them should leave the planet immediately. And even if you do feel like them, if I can use you to get my way, then
will.
your life is not important.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But
All right.
they're evil, hateful people. This is what happens when you have people hate. And this is why so many of my friends grew up saying, give peace a chance. And they were laughed at, of course, and stuff like that. I get it. But the message was right. The problem is that the human condition seems to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
And we can't seem to get it so that it works the way it's supposed to work. And what did they do to this guy back several thousand years ago who said, all you got to do is just love each other? They killed him. So I mean, it's doesn't make one feel optimistic about tomorrow, and we try not to bring our kids up with no optimism, because all that does is create more problems. But this is what the world that we're living in now.
Sad, isn't it?
Well, it is
Sad.
very sad. It
yeah.
is very sad. But it's only people with hate and who love themselves above all others. Oh, this is the way I want it, and this is the way somebody told me this is how it should be, and I'm willing to kill you to get it that way. Even though we know after thousands of years it's not going to get that way by killing people.
My brother used to have a business partner, and he was from Lebanon, I think.
Yeah.
And he grew up with, we hate Jewish people.
Right.
That's just it.
Yeah.
You start from very young, and the first time he ran into Jewish people, he was on top of the Eiffel Tower. He saw a family of Jewish people. They were in the Hasidic
Tourist
Jews.
thing, yeah.
And he didn't know what to do. Am I supposed to throw them off the Eiffel Tower because I'm supposed to hate these people? Well, he didn't do anything.
Right.
And the two families kind of just went their separate ways. They were tourists at the top of the Eiffel Tower, but that's how he thought. What am I supposed to do right now as a good Muslim, or I think
right.
he was? Should I be killing them? Isn't that sad?
It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Back here in the United States, we can't pick a Speaker of the House. This is becoming too difficult. Scalise is out. He is now dropped out of the running, I guess, because he just knows he can't get enough votes. They say that Jim Jordan is at the top of the heap now. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You never know who might come up after this. And
We had this conversation last week.
Yeah.
When you're going to remove somebody, you make
should have a
one
plan.
person right? But there's no plan. And I mean, when that happened, I thought, well, there's nobody that can get the votes. How is this going to happen? So now we are left without a speaker.
And we're going on over a week now.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
So
And nothing can get done. But if you're going to
That's
make
almost the way
if you're going to
Congress
make that
likes
move,
it sometimes. Nothing can get
You-
done, but
you
it's
would
not
think
my
so.
fault.
You would think so,
I
right?
don't have to do any work today, but it's not my fault.
But maybe have a plan if you're going to make that change. Put yourself forward. Not that he could get the votes back. I guess could get the votes either.
I'm surprised the person that led the charge to get him out, Gates, they just don't have, interim speaker. So we can have someone that's in charge.
You would think
vote.
that.
Yeah,
right.
but that
No.
didn't. That I guess they
That
have
didn't
no.
happen.
When they fire the baseball manager, they immediately make someone interim manager.
Yeah.
Someone has to be in charge.
Yeah, someone has to be in charge, and the work needs to get done.
Yeah. And,
So, yeah, this is terrible, and impossible, and ridiculous.
all right. Well, they'll keep working on it.
Yeah,
Down
yeah.
there in
Good luck.
Washington.
Good luck.
So, okay. All right. Even closer to home, they had a little action down in Bristol, Rhode Island yesterday, where a man down in
A
Bristol,
little gunplay.
shot a man in his car in the Bristol police parking lot. Now, according to
didn't hear about this.
according to the story, 2 women drove to the station seeking help after a naked man accosted them at Colt State Park. And I know what Colt State Park is.
Yep.
Dave, do you know where the police station is in relation to Colt State Park? Melissa, do you
Cold
know?
State Park's near the water, and
It is near the
Bristol
water.
Police Station is further in along the main drive.
Easy enough to get to?
That's the way it was when I was there last, but they move police stations.
Yeah. Do you know, Melissa?
I don't.
No, I
No.
just don't know how long of a drive it is. But the unidentified suspect allegedly pursued the women in his car, crashed
Naked.
Yeah. Well, he was naked at the park. I don't know. I don't think he'd have a chance to get dressed if he's going to follow him in his
Just-
car. Pursued the women in his car, crashed into their vehicle in the police station parking lot.
What?
Which is on Metacom Avenue, in case you know that area of
Yeah.
Bristol. Media reports indicate that's when a Bristol police officer, because I must have ran into the police station, he came out, sees what's going on, shoots the man, who said to be alert and was taken to the hospital. And the women sustained minor injuries. The incident is being investigated by the Rhode Island Attorney General's office. Isn't that bizarre?
That's bizarre. Yeah.
As the person doing the pursuing, once you see whoever you're pursuing pulls into the police station, don't you think you break off and go somewhere else?
Well,
Not if they're, from
No.
Lakeview or something. If they're nuts in the first place,
yeah.
they're not even.
yeah,
following, right?
that's
They
like,
are fixated on their goal.
yeah, yeah. You accosted these women naked and then decided to follow them, and then at that point, you're suddenly not going to start thinking rationally.
Rationally?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you would think, hey, police station. Maybe I should try to get out of here.
I don't think there was any rational thinking from one end to the other.
If he was shooting for a crazy charge, then he get it. He get it that way. That's for sure.
All right. Well, he's in custody now, and recovering from his gunshot wounds. I know no one in this area won the Powerball jackpot 'cause that was one out in California.
Yeah.
But 2 tickets in Massachusetts won $50,000.
Oh, nice.
So that's nice. They were purchased if you happen to be in Waltham, Mass, or Plymouth, Mass. That's where those tickets were.
Oh, so they haven't
purchased.
been claimed yet.
Not
That's
yet.
a nice piece of change.
That-
Yeah,
yeah, 50,000.
that's good.
That would be okay.
Yeah,
You
I'll
can't
take
you
it.
can't retire on it, but
Well, it
they have
depends.
quite a few bills.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be nice to do.
Yeah.
Bonus. Yeah.
It's a bonus, of course. And that store in California that sold the winning ticket, it's a combination liquor store, convenience store kind of thing. They have them out that way.
Yep,
they
they do.
get $1 million. Just
They
for
do get
selling-
$1 million.
selling the ticket.
Yeah. They're pretty excited.
Yeah, that's that'll be nice for them.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
In Dayton, Massachusetts, they had another thing happen with
Because
the
they'll
police
have to pay
station.
taxes on that.
Of
money.
course.
Yes.
Well, you get
You get $650,000
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
More
That-
like
well,
six.
that'll help their business.
6 and change.
Sure.
Dayton police had an incident in their parking lot too yesterday where they
is it with Dayton?
arrested the man. I don't know. It's
like a lot of strange stuff goes on in Dayton.
They don't even have their own school system. They got to hook up with Rehoboth.
Right.
And, But yeah, weird things happen in Dighton, and I don't get it.
This year.
All right. Back here in Rhode Island, a student, middle school student, thought it'd be a good idea to bring a ghost gun and some ammunition to the Del Sesto Middle School. He was caught.
Yeah.
And the bullets that he brought with him were not compatible with the gun he brought.
Which is why they didn't lock the school down.
Yeah, because they can't. These don't fit, so it's not. There's really no threat. And I guess there was no ammunition in the gun either, so there was no threat there.
Right.
Middle school, so young.
12, 13, 14 in that general range. And let's see. The
Obviously
juvenile
got it
student
at home, right?
charged with carrying a firearm in school grounds right away. That's a problem right there. And he's currently at the Rhode Island Training School, so they came and arrested to this one. No fooling around. No, hey, all right, keep that hidden and we'll let it slide. Can't let these things slide anymore.
No, but also, what about the parents, right? I mean, if the kid was in possession of a ghost gun, which is not legal, got it somewhere.
I mean, it could be the parents. Maybe he picked it up from somebody else.
Yeah.
You don't know. No word yet on whether or not the parents are being accused of anything at this point. They're probably not too happy with their boy.
I'm sure they're not.
Who's now at the training school. All right. Break time. What's that? Right now here on the ON Radio Coffee and Program. So, Dave, a second message, please, from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Telephone number to call is 334-1000 in the 401 area code, 334-1000 for the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Call after 9 o'clock when they answer their phones, because they're a 9 to 5 business, you see. And ask them how, hey, I heard Dave talking about chamber membership. What's the deal? They'll tell you all about it.
Thanks, Dave. More coffee and coming up. Stay tuned.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, this is Kathy LaValle. The Honey Shop and Champs Diner are sponsoring a charity event to benefit Missy's Holiday Fund. Every year, family and friends of Missy's Family Restaurant come together to cook a delicious Thanksgiving dinner for our local veterans, homeless, and anyone in need of an amazing meal and companionship. To help us fund this project, we're inviting you to an epic showdown of flavors at our chili cook-off. The chili cook-off is on Saturday, October 28th, from 2 to 4 at Champs Diner, 719 Front Street in Woonsocket. We are seeking 10 talented contestants to showcase their best chili recipes. Whether you concoct a spicy masterpiece or a savory delight, this is your chance to vie for the title of Chili Champion. We also invite you to indulge in the ultimate chili dog created by me, Kathy LaValle, from the Honey Shop. Tickets are $15 to enter as a contestant or to join in the fun and have lunch. See you at the Chili Cook-Off on Saturday, October 28th from 2 o'clock to 4.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON, AM, and FM.
It is Coffee In here on OED Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray.
Hi there.
Also in the city of Providence, we had a body that was found behind the Stop and Shop on Manton Avenue. If you know where that part is, it's kind of near Rhode Island College. And the victim was apparently stabbed. They think it's a homicide. I guess judging by the stab wounds. But no other details were immediately released about this incident of the body that was found in Providence behind the Stop and Shop. So there's something else to be concerned about. All right. And that the man that made the threat against the synagogue in Providence, he is...
He's from Pawtucket.
He's from Pawtucket.
He's 65 years old, and he ought to know better.
Yeah, he was arraigned in district court yesterday, making a false bomb threat, disorderly conduct. He was granted bail. All right. In order to stay away from the temple. I wonder how much the bail was. Doesn't say. Dan McKee said actions like this are unacceptable. Congressman Seth Magaziner also released a statement about the bomb threat incident, saying acts of violent hate are on the rise in our country, and he urged everyone to remain vigilant. Okay. Thanks, Seth. All right.
What else are you going to say?
Doesn't say he's going to when Vincent Johnson will be back in court for his court case.
Yeah.
Okay, but he is out on bail. He probably never went near the temple anyway, so staying away from it's going to be pretty easy for him. So, all right.
Yeah, he doesn't. If he's from Pawtucket, he's not gonna. Hopefully, he'll stay away, right?
Yeah. Go all the way to Providence to where the synagogue is. Probably looked it up. Where's the closest one? I don't think
Who knows,
there is a
right?
synagogue in Pawtucket. So, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
Found one in Providence. All right, the Foxborough Police, they're going after those three guys. And they got to a fight in the stands a few weeks ago with a man from New Hampshire, and the man in New Hampshire passes away.
Yeah.
So they're going after criminal complaints against these three guys. They don't say where the three Rhode Island men are from, but they're down here in this state. The exact cause of death is still under investigation. If he died of either the blow to the head or did he have another underlying condition that might have caused stress or whatever, which is certainly possible. The names of the men who may be charged have not been released because we haven't found them yet. But I remember on the days when I went to football games, there were always fights at Gillette.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And always up in the higher up seats for some reason.
Yeah.
And you could see the security running hither and yon to get to where the fights were.
And it just so happens though that this man passed away afterwards.
Yeah.
So
And the part, what part of it, what's causing it? The poor play of the Patriots. The fans are getting so frustrated in the stands
Right.
at how poorly they're playing. And all it takes is one person who's had, a few too many to say something bad about Belichick or a player, and someone else
takes it
offense.
so personally that they.
No, he's the absolute best, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you need to be hit. And if they were winning, this stuff doesn't take place. But
It's just a game,
It's not right.
folks.
You're right.
It's just a game. It's not worth getting in fight over and ruining your life potentially.
Dave, you remember Bob Montgomery, right?
Very well.
He's a catcher for the Boston Red Sox
Yeah.
back in
Very
the 70s.
practical man, too.
And he was doing games for Pawtucket Red Sox
Right.
Back a few years ago. And he came into the press box and he saw me, and I was all because the Red Sox had just blew a game. And even him as an ex-player, Joe, it's just a game.
Yep.
I'm like, but I want to be mad, Bob, because they didn't win. And Joe, and this from an ex-player, it is just a game.
Yeah.
And all right, you're right.
More than just
you're
an
absolutely
ex-player.
right.
A guy who is a mature, practical man
Yeah.
who was, he made good dough playing the game. He was lucky, got some breaks, worked hard. Nobody just gets lucky and goes out and plays ball. This is not like, back in the 60s where the teenagers in the neighborhood, all of a sudden they put together a garage band. Now they're selling millions of records. And this is not like that. If you're going to get into Major League Baseball, it doesn't happen that way. It happens with lots and lots of sacrifice and hard work of trying to perfect yourself, trying to get yourself in the right place, to be seen by the right people, to get a break, and then make every person who takes a chance on you look like a genius. That's work, man. That's a career. And it lasts all too short period of time in the sunlight out there on the baseball field. When you get to the end of that, you start realizing, It was a gift. I better have something else on the ball here. Figure speech. And and Bob was good, and he got into the broadcasting thing. He could talk very matter-of-factly. He knew how to be honest without being too revealing, because you can get in trouble being way too honest. But I think they had movies with that script, didn't they? Yeah? It was Bruce Almighty. There was a bunch of them that were all plays on the same theme, that you could be too honest.
Yeah.
And when you're in our business and in the public eye and stuff like that, you try to be as honest as the situation will allow, without being gauche honest, where you're going to hurt people or get into trouble because you've said things that just people don't want to hear. But he learned that, and he had it, and he didn't hurt that he was like 8 feet tall and a huge guy and the rest of that stuff, with a nice deep voice. I cherished my time with Bob Montgomery, the few moments here and there that we got a chance to talk. And he was a heck of a guy I looked up to. Not just because he was 8 feet tall.
He was on the 1975 World Series team for the Boston Red Sox, of which they lost. But he wore his 1975 World Series ring proudly.
Yes, he did.
Everywhere. So
He worked for it.
The losing team gets a ring.
Yeah,
He
worked
just
for
for
it.
participating. So that's pretty cool. Down in Providence, Providence Mayor Brett Smiley signed a payment in lieu of taxes agreement with Brown University, Johnson & Wales, Providence College, and RISD.
This goes on all the time. This is natural. This is normal stuff.
Is
Yeah,
it? Okay.
it is.
It's so they're exempt from paying commercial taxes.
Slow news day.
Yeah,
They've
Okay.
always been.
Yeah.
But so they pay what? Just a small.
Yeah,
amount
it's
of
a
money?
payment in lieu of taxes, right? It's pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so cities negotiate pilots with different organizations
That's
all
an
the
acronym.
time.
That's the first letters of the words, Joe.
Yeah.
Pilot. Payment in lieu of taxes.
Right. So
okay.
In other
we're
words,
not going to charge you taxes, but
that's
we're going
right.
to make an agreement, and you're going to pay.
and you're
an
going to
agreed
pay us
upon.
for what it costs to keep you here.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to generate up to $177 million for the city over the next 20 years.
Which is great.
So pretty nice chunk of change for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
over 20 years.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
but you can count on that cash coming in.
that's right.
So there you go. Okay. All right. Let's see.
But you also have to weigh that against what the money would be if they were paying the full amount,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's how
Probably
that's
get-
negotiated.
So they get a deal.
They get a deal.
They get a deal.
They absolutely do.
All right.
Yep.
So let's see. Block Island got money. They were awarded $187,000 from the National Coastal Resilience Fund, and the money will be used to strengthen the dune, beach, and salt marsh and coastal pond ecosystem around Block Island.
In other words, they got to put up fences and keep people away.
Don't go on. the-
Extra cops. Keep people off the natural.
get away from the
berms and
salt
stuff
marsh.
like that. That's right.
Don't
You
be
stay
fish-
off the
don't-
dunes. You always,
don't-
yeah,
right.
they don't like you
Take
going on the
pictures
dunes
from
anywhere.
a quarter mile away. Don't go and enjoy them.
No fishing in the salt marsh.
No human contact can be had.
Preservation.
Is the key thing, right?
Yes.
I invite anyone to debate that point with me. By the way, because they're first. Whenever there's money involved here, the first thing is we have to stop people from existing. We have to stop people from interacting with nature. That's the only way to make sure that they don't mess it up.
Well, we
Remove
like to
the
mess
humans.
stuff up.
Remove the humans.
Humans
That's the
love
only
to
way
mess
to
stuff
do
up.
it.
It's our favorite thing. It's
And
our
so-
favorite thing to do.
That's right. And so if we could just get everyone to stop breathing all at the same time, everyone would be happy.
Well, we have to save the piping plover bird.
Yes.
That was
We have to
political.
keep the humans
Jo-
away from
John-
the piping plover.
Even John Chafee shook his head and says, "It's just political. I got to do it. It's political. I got to do it."
From the piping plover community?
John Chafee was far too practical a man to care about the piping plover, but he cared about the consequences if he didn't champion them. When, if you're not championing, he says it's politics. He says sometimes you get yourself in a situation where it just doesn't matter what's right or wrong. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's politics. He says, and it's like this. If I didn't champion those twerpy little birds. I would be champion people who want to bathe nude. Sunbathe nude on a public beach. Well, not quasi-public, all
Yeah.
right. But I would be defending people who want to be nude outside, who want to take their clothes off on the beach. He says, that don't sell in Peoria.
Or Providence.
I'm choosing the birds.
The birds come
Right.
first.
I'm choosing the birds. And
All right.
he was like that, you know. And the other thing that he did that he always regretted was what he did to the Narragansett Indians. Got it passed so that they could not have a casino. It was...
And he regretted that?
Yeah, he looked at it, he said, that's just politics. He says, it's just stinking politics. I hate it.
Yeah.
But he says, there's no way out of this.
Wow.
He says, I have to do it.
All right. We did get a note that was called in, 766-1240. Just to the panel, more than 60% of minor league players from A to AAA, to AA to AAA, don't make it to the major leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's a
Exactly.
combination of luck and skill and timing, basically. All right. We're going to take a break on the Coffee and program right now. It's time for a look at the weather forecast, which is being brought to you by our friends over at unbound.org.
Sunny skies today with a high of 62 degrees and a breeze from the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 41 degrees. Saturday's weather increasingly cloudy, high of 61. Sunday, partial sun and 60 degrees with a breeze from the north. Monday, mostly cloudy and 58. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 57, a 40% chance of a shower. Wednesday, partly sunny and 58. Next Thursday, sunshine and 62.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies and 49 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at unbound.org. At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated. By the year 2020, that figure rose to 56%. The Cremation Association of America projects that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center.
When it comes to emergency service for plumbing and heating, you can't beat C.J. Nemus, 37 Corey Street in Woonsocket. C.J. Nemus offers over 15 years of experience and is licensed in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. C.J. Nemus offers complete heating system service, plumbing, water heaters, plus drain and sewer cleaning. Remember that senior citizens receive a 10% discount. So give Charlie a call today at C.J. Nemus, 769-4776. They're registered with the Better Business Bureau. They're a master plumber with quality service. It's the only way and the best way. With C.J. Nemus, call today, 769-4776 for C.J. Nemus.
Here's what's coming up next. Greatest Hits USA.
Hey, this is Chuck Matthews on Greatest Hits USA. And coming up this weekend, we are going to answer the following questions. Who were go-go dancers at the Peppermint Lounge? What singer thinks he got away with something? And who had the #1 record this week in 1968? Find out. Turn it up this weekend right here.
Greatest Hits USA.
This portion of the Coffee and program is brought to you by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here along with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and we're being joined by Rich Lane from Post 85 here in Woonsocket. How are you there, Rich?
I'm doing well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you. What do you got going on over there at the Post
Well, I'm going to
that
try.
we need to know about?
I'm going to try to go in chronological order because normally I kind of like mix everything up. So, but yeah, first of all, I want to remind everybody on October the 28th, the trunk or treat we're having. at American Legion Post 85. That's going to be going on from 4:30 in the afternoon until 7:30 in the evening. Basically, we have a bunch of people that we know, trust, come up there with vehicles and decorate the back of them, hand out candy and stuff for the kids. We're going to have all our different entities up there, the auxiliary, the post, the Sons of the American Legion, and the Friends of Fairmount. They're all going to have little tables up there and candy and activities for the kids. And anybody that wants to partake in it, you can get in touch with us down the American Legion Post at 401-766-7585, and we'll be more than happy to give you the, actually it's the auxiliary that's running it, so Nikki LaForde will be doing that. And we'll give you her contact information. You can schedule things with her, but the more the merrier. Like I said, bring the little ones there. It's a very, very safe environment. Don't have to worry about nothing, and the kids will just have a fantastic time. I think this is like our third or fourth year doing it, so it's always been successful, and we've always increased the number of people every year. So come on out and have some fun.
If any Kit Kats fall on the ground, feel free to bring them in.
You want me, the following week, I'll come into the station with all the leftover candy.
Yeah,
Joe.
there you go.
Yeah, we're all set. One thing I always want to mention the courtesy vehicle. In fact, I went to my United Veterans Council meeting last night, and all the entities that belong to that donate $100 a month to keep the courtesy vehicle going, and I want to publicly thank all of them for keeping up with their payments. It really helps us get the things done with the courtesy vehicle, and for those of you people out there that are wondering what that's all about, it's a vehicle that we have down at American Legion Post 85 for our veterans that need transportation to their medical appointments. So if you do need a transportation, your private or your VA medical appointment, it's free of charge. You call 401-766-7585. Give the person on the other end of the phone your information. I am the duty officer for the vehicle. They will contact me. I will then contact you, and we'll set up your trip. And we bring you there, we wait for you there, and we bring you home, which is a great free service. So always want to thank Kevin Meehan up at Imperial Chevrolet and his crew up there for donating the car to us also. Another thing I want to make mention of is the American Legion Auxiliary. A matter of fact, I was very, very pleased to hear that somebody heard us on the radio last week when I did this. I mentioned this Circle of Love for Rhode Island veterans, and they came in. They said, "Yeah, we heard this guy on the radio, so we wanted to bring this stuff down." So it's the radio broadcast is working on this. So if any of you are out there wondering what Circle of Love for Rhode Island veterans is all about, this is a campaign that we're doing down at the American Legion Post along with the auxiliary, and it's a donation drive to assist Rhode Island homeless veterans in the transition into their housing. So you figure if you've got, if you're homeless and all of a sudden you're going to get a place to move into, you probably got nothing, right? So what they're looking to collect, and I have a little list here, so bear with me. They're looking to collect things like extension cords, batteries, Fixodent. I'd never think of Fixodent. I wouldn't.
Right.
But, toothbrushes for those that still have their teeth. Cleaning supplies, laundry detergent, dryer sheets, trash bags, aluminum foil, saran wrap, toilet paper, paper towels, Keurig coffee pots, and bed in a bag. Full size is what they're looking for the bed in the bag. And I went online the other day and I priced the bed in the bag, and they go for right around anywhere between $30 and $40. So it's, if you're thinking, all right, he just mentioned too many things, but I remember bed in the bag, full size. You can get them at, you can get them on Amazon online. You can get them at Walmart, Target, all those places. So all you got to do is drop them off down at American Legion Post 85 on 870 River Street, and you'll see a table set up when you go downstairs, and the person behind the bar will assist you also. show you where to put the stuff, and while you're there, you can sit down and have yourself a nice beverage too. And I know a lot's going on October 11th, Veterans Day, in the area. I was made well aware of that at my UVC meeting last night. November 11th. What did I say, October? My goodness. Look at that, huh? Well, I do know November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, though. I wonder what I'll be doing that day. But November the 11th, we are going to do a dedication up at our Eternal Flame Memorial at the American Legion Post. And right now, we're looking to start that right around noontime. We have these, and I was given a little bit more information last night, that we have these two really big brass plaques that we're going to be putting on the cement slabs that are up there that have been empty for quite a while. One of them has the KIA and those that fought in the Woonsocket area, or in Woonsocket, those that fought in World War II. So one of the big bronze plaques has the names there, and the other one gives you a little bit of a synopsis of battles in World War II and things like that. So, like I said, we're going to do that on Veterans Day, November 11th, right up at the Eternal Flame Memorial. And right now, I've got to still have a little bit of a conversation with the commander, because this is kind of like in the discussion stage with some of the other people. But we're hoping to do a dedication to Korean War veterans that day too. So, but that's still in the planning stages. Hopefully that can all happen, but we're definitely going to do something on November 11th up at the Eternal Flame site. So please come out and join us. From what I understand, there's going to be a few dignitaries there. We're going to invite one dignitary that's sitting to my right. Melissa hopefully will come and visit with us, and I'll have to find out what type of beverage she'd enjoy afterwards too. But that's pretty much what's going on.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. In terms of the courtesy car, I know you're like the scheduler, but have you ever driven it? Driven people to their appointments?
Yes, I have.
How smooth is the ride? Is it nice?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, one thing I always forget to mention is that we're not wheelchair accessible, so it's not like a van or anything like that. If you're going to get a ride for us, you pretty much got to be mobile. We've had rides where people come out in wheelchairs, but they can physically
get up,
stand on their own,
because
you got to remember it's a sedan. The car's a sedan, so you got to be able to basically, if you're in a wheelchair, you got to be able to get up out of it and slide yourself into the seat. We can fold up the wheelchair, put it in the trunk, and all that stuff. But just be aware of that if you're calling for a ride. But I try to stay away from doing the drives, and so does the commander. We are both volunteer drivers, but we've got 7 other people. So I would myself and the commander, we're like the emergency drivers. If we can't find anybody else. But the great part about it is the volunteers that I've had, I have never had to make a second phone call. Never. So I call the first one. I
can do it.
I can do it. And they're and I'm telling you, they're so excited because they sit there with the veteran, and the veteran starts telling them about their experience and stuff. And let me think for half a second here. The volunteer drivers we have, except for myself and the commander, they're all civilian. They've never served in the military. They're listening to the story from the veteran, telling them about their experiences and stuff, and they're coming back to me and saying, "Yeah, that was great. You should have heard the stories he was telling me, and this and that, and what he's gone through with the VA and all this." So it's just been a wonderful experience. In November, I'm going to have a little get together with all my volunteer drivers, and they're going to share all their experiences with everybody else, and we'll get some good feedback from them, and when you start a project like this, you think, I wonder what's going to go wrong. Sure. Knock on wood, nothing has gone wrong.
Good.
It's just been so smooth, and we've gotten feedback from the veterans we've driven, and they've been very, very happy with the service. So, it's just a great program. And I'm so proud of it. I am so very proud of it. And Gary Smith, if you're listening out there, thank you for everything you did to help us get that vehicle. That is so much appreciated. And you did a wonderful service to the veteran community by doing that. So I want to just thank Gary and you guys around the table here, Dave, Melissa, and Joe, for allowing me to come in and just, just talk about that. And if I wasn't able to mention, we'd still be without a car. So,
all right.
Well, we're very
worked out.
pleased.
Yes,
Very
we are.
pleased.
All right, this segment of the Coffee and Program has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper, which Dave has in his hands at the moment.
I do. As a matter of fact, I have the North Smithfield, Blackstone, and Woonsocket edition of this week's Valley Breeze here. Nice picture there in color of the clowns coming down the street at their Autumn Fest parade. Bella Pelletier has a story in here from North Smithfield about the council saying it might be time to enforce limits on comments. They're getting to really long town council meetings. People are going more than 15 minutes. The rules actually say 15 minutes. And guess what, North Smithfield folks? It's 5 minutes in Woonsocket if you want to come up and address the council. And they kind of watch the watch on that. North Smithfield, the town council of North Smithfield's been letting you skate on this one for some time. And they're just saying, John Beauregard's saying, I don't know, maybe we should take a look at the rules and maybe we should start enforcing it. We want everybody to have their say, but there's some people that take an advantage, you know what I'm saying? So that's going on there. Read all about it with Bella's story there. And she also has a story in here about the Quick Stop Deli in Slatersville going up for sale. They started off over on Great Road and then moved over to the old buildings where Eddie's Market originally was in Slatersville, and that building over there, and they just never really survived the pandemic because in addition to the pandemic, they also had restrictions on the bridge for walking over, so people from the residences couldn't get over there and walk over as easily. They got parking and everything, but they depended on neighborhood traffic too. So anyway, that's something in there. And our dear friend Scott McGee has the listing if you're interested. Turning to Cumberland and Lincoln's edition of the Valley Breeze newspapers, it's crunch time for a decision on the 62-acre park in Cumberland. They want to call New Pond Park down there along the Blackstone River where Peterson Puritan used to be. If you want the Rhode Island directions. All right, remember where that is. Also, Sophia Barr writes a nice story from Lincoln about the Adopt-A-Spot bringing new life to Evans Park. Evans Park, of course, named after a Lincoln resident killed in the Vietnam War. And then there's a nice little pictorial expose, once again, from Charlie Lawrence, who took those pictures of the Autumn Fest parade on the littlest Cumberland cheerleader. It's actually the coach's daughter. 6 years old, and she's there with some of the other cheerleaders of the Cumberland High School football team, enjoying great success this year in the Interscholastic League. Great stories, great ads, a great time spending some time with the Valley Breeze newspaper. Pick it up free where you shop every Thursday.
All right, Dave, thanks. More of the Coffee and Program coming your way. We have a note to get to, and we will when we come back.
The Broaster House is noted for its delicious chicken and seafood. Chicken includes broasted family packs and chicken family style, but they also serve other favorites like ribeye steak, meatloaf, and hot turkey sandwich. Try their great tasting steak sandwich, always ribeye, clam rolls, and turkey clubs. The Broaster House is at 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket. They welcome small parties and collations. Gift certificates are available year-round in any denomination. For takeout, call the Broaster House at 401-762-1717.
Hi, this is Kathy LaValle. The Honey Shop and Champs Diner are sponsoring a charity event to benefit Missy's Holiday Fund. Every year, family and friends of Missy's Family Restaurant come together to cook a delicious Thanksgiving dinner for our local veterans, homeless, and anyone in need of an amazing meal and companionship. To help us fund this project, we're inviting you to an epic showdown of flavors at our chili cook-off. The chili cook-off is on Saturday, October 28th from 2 to 4 at Champs Diner, 719 Front Street in Woonsocket. We are seeking 10 talented contestants to showcase their best chili recipes. Whether you concoct a spicy masterpiece or a savory delight, this is your chance to vie for the title of Chili Champion. We also invite you to indulge in the ultimate chili dog created by me, Kathy LaValle, from the Honey Shop. Tickets are $15 to enter as a contestant or to join in the fun and have lunch. See you at the Chili Cook-Off on Saturday, October 28th from 2 o'clock to 4.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Richard Lane. And we have a note that was called in at 766-1240 to Rich. The Boston Bruins are number one from Canada.
Oh, God.
And they are. They're 1-0.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They had a good first game.
Yeah, and Dennis, I hope you're doing well out there.
How are the Canadians
My
so
buddy,
far
my
this year?
buddy, the big Montreal Canadian fan.
How are they doing this year?
I have no idea. Let's hope they do
okay.
as well. I'm hoping they do as well as they did last year.
That was not so good.
Which was not as good as the Bruins did. Yeah.
Believe me, yeah. Well, the Bruins, if we remember correctly, best record, they set a record for the most wins in National Hockey League
And they
season,
still
and
lost it at the end.
right down to the dumpster during the playoffs. So
It happens.
So-
Well, they beat themselves up. They spent themselves.
yeah,
What
it
can I
was
say?
a new season. That I do know.
There
It's
you
a
go.
new season. I'm happy.
New players.
You know, I mean, I know we don't want to get in the big sports discussion here, but the kid for Chicago, the
very
rookie, Bedard.
Bedard.
My God, he's just barely over 18 years old. Can you imagine
18
that?
in about 3 months.
Yeah, can you imagine like I don't know. Here's an 18-year-old kid that if it's projected he's going to do like they say he's going to do.
He's going to be a superstar.
Superstar, man. If I were him with the contracts he's going to sign, I'd be retiring like in about 3 years. And I would live the rest of my life in luxury on some island. I'll tell you that much.
He's still
That
going to
sounds like
play
a
in 3
plan.
years.
You say that from this end of the age spectrum, but when you're that young, you just want to keep on having fun.
Yeah, I
keep
guess
on
so. I
playing.
guess so. But, well, you say I'm old, Dave?
I'm just saying that you have a different perspective.
Yes, I do.
Than an
Yes, I-
18-year-old has. Because
You're right,
I remember
you're-
being one, and it's like the world is your oyster. I mean,
Got
what are you
that
going
right.
to do? And whatever you want to do, you want to do it.
Youth is wasted on the young.
That's right.
You know,
I quote you on that.
I tell everybody like
It's a wonderful life.
I'll start doing things now and working around the yard or doing different things and boy, the knees hurt, the neck hurts, the back hurts. And in fact, about 2 weeks ago, I did an Alzheimer's walk in Worcester, and it was like 3 miles.
All right.
And you walk. That's it.
Yeah.
I was so sore afterwards, and I'm thinking 40 years ago, I used to jump off of a deuce and a half with a 60-pound rucksack on my back, and hit pavement, from like a 4-foot jump, and man, I just keep on trucking.
Yeah.
I ever
And you're
tried-
wondering about your knees.
Yeah, if I tried that now, I'd be lying flat on the pavement.
yeah.
Flat on your rucksack.
Yeah, I got that right.
All right. Other things going on around the country. A school, kids get into fights on the playground all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But down in Louisiana, we're taking it all the way to the Supreme Court.
All
As
right.
the parents. All right.
boy.
An issue between the children that started on the school playground is now headed to the Louisiana Supreme Court. Stems from a lawsuit filed after a 5-year-old suffered a broken hip while playing tag with a classmate in 2018. The child's
A
parents
broken hip.
must have fell off the monkey bars or something and landed on it.
Playing tag. Okay.
Running around.
I mean,
Yeah.
5-year-olds don't generally break their hip. That must have
No,
been.
not normally.
Yeah.
But
right.
the child's parents claim the classmate deliberately tried to hurt them, and that their parents and the school should have known they posed a quote an unreasonable risk unquote to others. The case was initially tossed out, but an appeals court ruled it should resume, and here it goes to the Louisiana State Supreme
It just
Court.
goes to tell you there are a few common sense judges out there, but not enough.
Yeah.
So how do you prove? Okay, how old are these
Right.
kids again? I'm sorry.
5.
Five. Okay, so you're going to look at another 5 or 6-year-old, and you're going to try to prove
It was deliberate.
criminal intent.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I can see the little kid. I can
he
see the
hit
little
me
kid.
deliberately.
Yeah, I can see the little kid sitting there with his teddy bear in,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
lap, going, "Yeah, I really
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
to hurt him."
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, if
No,
you're playing
no more.
tag,
Now you can't play tag anymore.
No
you
more
can't,
tag.
Yeah. Right.
And I remember, well, playing tag
Oh,
as
my
a kid.
goodness.
Yeah, you were running after someone, and you would push them
Right.
because that's the way it worked. If
Or you
they
try
were-
to like you gotta tag them. You
tag 'em and you,
yeah,
and you kind of
both
smack them
running
forward,
and-
so they could fall down. And
sure.
When we were
Fell
kids,
down all the time.
When we were kids, you remember that in the parks that spinning thing you used to.
Oh, yes.
You used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Kids would get in the
The
middle of it.
wheel
and
of
you'd push.
death.
Yeah, the wheel of
Yeah.
death. It used to spin around and around.
And it
We
was
used to-
all metal.
I mean, we used to throw kids off of that.
We used to-
while it was going,
You know,
We would
yeah.
all get it right. All get,
Right.
Hang on, go run as fast as you could, and then like have somebody try to stand up in the middle, and the
Oh,
inertia
yeah.
would just like make you sick.
And now
You walk
tag.
out and you're all wobbling and your head spinning. Yeah.
There's another comedian talks about that. His name is Jeff Allen. He's very funny, and talks about the slide. They used to be metal.
Metal, hot
yeah.
metal,
Hot
slide.
metal,
Metal.
leaving strips of skin,
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
landed on a rock.
You ended on rocks. Yes.
at
yeah.
the bottom of the slide. Now
Yeah.
it's plastic, and it's all going to be mulch or whatever at the bottom. And he takes his granddaughter for a scoot because he can't slide on these things.
Oh, and it can't be real wooden mulch. No, it's got to be that
fake stuff?
the fake
rubbery, stuff.
rubberized plastic. My
Yeah,
God, what
yeah, yeah.
happened?
I
What
do
happened to the
do you
world? Huh?
You probably didn't have, but like when I was a kid, do you remember they had a sit and spin?
Yeah,
So it was just like a circle with like a steering wheel.
yeah.
And you would just sit on it
And
and,
spin
pull
yourself.
and spin yourself around
You get
until
nauseous.
you got nauseous, and then you would try to stand up and walk, and you couldn't.
That's
like
called
that was
having a
that was
good
the fun.
time.
that
there
was
you
the
go.
point of it. Like
I do remember how fast you could spin
how
yourself.
fast you could spin yourself. Could you spin yourself fast enough where you could spin yourself and you'd actually get thrown off of it, and then you couldn't walk for a while.
No,
'cause
no.
you-
What about? Remember when we were younger, the lawn jarts they called them.
I
With
played
yeah,
one with the
darts.
metal, with the metal spike at the
Yeah.
end, and I
Yeah,
played
yeah.
with them.
Yeah. So
None of us got hurt.
no.
The flying thing, get out of the way.
Yeah. Get out of the way. It's
We got a
pointy.
little-
Now they got the little
No, it's
the
plastic,
rubber
yeah.
the rubberized plastic. God.
Try to get into the circle.
Hey, you know
The good
what?
old days when
Yeah.
when you could die from your
We're
toys.
lucky we're alive.
I know.
We're lucky we're alive. Aren't we?
Well, you ever play with a yo-yo and smack yourself in the head with it?
Oh, many times.
Well, there
Can't you
go.
tell?
Yeah. All right. Well, an East Greenwich man has been convicted for a scam. The Rhode Island Attorney General's office says John Santilli defrauded a British investor of $100,000 by telling him his entertainment company would produce a remake of the 1990s HBO series Tales from the Crypt. The investor reached out to friends in the film industry and discovered he had been duped. Prosecutors say Santilli blew the cash at regional casinos. Sentencing is set to take place on December 8th.
That's
Gotta be
quite a
caref-
scam.
That's a
I'm
pretty
gonna do
good.
a
that's
I'm gonna do a remake of Tales from the Crypt for HBO,
That's
and
a
I just
pretty
need to
good,
invest.
Yeah, that's a pretty good salesman that can reach across the pond
Right.
to get. I need money from you over there in Great Britain to send to me,
Yeah.
so I can remake this movie. And,
So this dope in Great Britain, didn't he decide to vet this guy a little bit and
Well,
just
that's
to
the
make
whole
sure?
thing.
Not until
he-
after
come
the
on.
fact.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
he made the investment, and then checked up on him. Should have been the other way around.
oh yeah.
but he didn't have the same contacts at first.
Oh.
And then he said to himself, "Geez," and he met some folks, and then they referred him to other folks, and they looked around, and he made some new friends who said, "There's nothing like that going on over here."
Yeah. Jeez.
I worry about that. Well, you know.
oh well. All right.
Because if someone came to you that way, and would you pick up the phone and call like HBO and say, by the way, are you considering putting this on? Well,
Probably not.
they wouldn't give you a straight answer because they don't
No.
know you.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't want their plans being, publicized before
Released,
they make the
yeah.
announcement, right?
Maybe they are. Yeah.
Because that gets very, very complicated. So, yeah, so they wouldn't give you a straight answer, but you might meet some other people later on who know, and they'll be honest with you. And
Does anybody know anyone that lives out in Oregon?
yes,
All right. Oregonians will get a chance to see a Ring of Fire eclipse this weekend if the weather cooperates.
cool.
The best viewing of the annular eclipse will be from the central Oregon coast through Nevada, Utah, the Four Corners area, New Mexico, and Texas. Elsewhere, people will see a partial eclipse. Forecasters note that cloud cover could prevent sky gazers from viewing the show. The Weather Channel says Saturday's forecast calls for overcast skies with a chance of rain out there in Oregon, so they won't be able to.
Which
quite
is
be
a
able to
normal
see it.
forecast
Yeah,
for
that's
Oregon.
For us, yes, that's right.
So the Ring of Fire, huh? They're going to have a hologram in the sky of Johnny Cash while it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know what you're
Oh,
looking
sing
at.
a-
Yeah,
sing a-
make a
sing
big
a
event.
tune.
What's the matter, Dave?
Oh, dear. It's a new moon tomorrow, you see.
All right.
And this is how you get eclipses. You get solar eclipses during new moons.
That'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. As always, Dave Richards, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, it's been great, and I'll be on travel for a little while. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Very good. And Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Rich Lane, thanks for coming in. Tell us about the Post.
Yeah, no problem at all. And I won't be here next week. I'm going to be down in Virginia, folks. Nice little country show down there in Hopewell, Virginia. Seeing all my friends down there and they're relaxing.
That's great.
Nice.
For you. Good.
Have a good time. All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great weekend and stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do You Remember is next at 9:30.
Steve Peluso's already here.
Oh, exciting.
Yes.
Give us a bark, Steve. There we go. Very good.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
The town of New